Welcome everybody to the next episode of KapVista Klips. Today we have Jess from AddAlign, and you all know Julia here. We're going to be, asking Jess about her background, her story, and how she got here, and then what the future entails for AddAlign. How are you, Jessica?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So I think we'll dive straight into it. Tell us about you. Tell us, what's your story? How did you get to this point?
How did I get to this point? So, I actually started out in the world of hedge funds with a bachelor's of science in biology and an MBA in my pocket. I realized that was not my path, and so I left the world of hedge funds to explore projects I was passionate about. And since then, I've launched 2 companies, taken one public, which is growing nicely, and launched Shelby Shelter, which is a nonprofit that saved over 1,000 dog and cat lives. Oh. And now my new passion is AddAlign. I'm happy to share about how I got into that as well, but that's just a little bit about me.
Perfect segue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great segue.
Tell us all about AddAlign. How did it start? What's the mission? Give us a little bit of a rundown there.
Okay. I would say it probably started in 2020. My father passed away from the likes of COVID, and it gave me an opportunity to really sit down and think about a lot of things. One of which was the way that we look at those around us for advice and guidance just through life about different topics. Nobody really has the answers to everything. And then as you go through life, you realize that some people, as much as they'd like to be there, are not able to be there, or maybe don't have that experience or wisdom that we thought they might have had when we were a little bit younger. And that kind of ignited my passion to start AddAlign. AddAlign is actually the name of my daughter. And it has two portions because it's obviously very close to my heart. It means adding alignment to a business, and it represents family in my mind, and coming together with different words of wisdom and sharing that with others. And basically, I was hoping to be able to change and enable people to get the advice that they're in search of in a timely fashion from those that they can really share that wisdom that they are looking for. So that whether a person is looking for guidance on, something simple like a school subject, or navigating, all the bumps and bruises that life sometimes throws at you, or, trying to, figure out a business aspiration, they can always find the right person when they need the most. And then, basically that's kind of, those thoughts running through my mind. And then I am a naturally curious person. So I started thinking about like the whole changing way that we're doing things as a world, as a unit, as people, as society. And I was curious about how so many people came, people across the world, they didn't really have an efficient way to monetize their knowledge. And I was intrigued by the fact that, there is so much demand for remote work and distance learning, and I really don't feel like that's changing anytime soon. And then, with COVID just exacerbating the situation with everybody stranded at home, either unable to attend work or school in person, people were looking for answers. And I saw that there is a lot of people that had those different kinds of answers and knowledge out there that they might be looking for, but it just wasn't captured properly. There was hundreds of people flocking to, different tools like Zoom and Calendly and different platforms like Clubhouse, but it was all just kind of a bit of a mess. And so I basically just became inspired with the thought that what if there's just one simple all-in-one solution where any website owner could install on their website that allowed an organization to list profiles, book a call, and get paid, in one efficient process. And that's when I realized that, there is so many possibilities. It wasn't just about businesses, it was about, the educational platforms like tutors and postgrads at universities. They could earn money by supporting distance learning, while the institutions or educational platforms took a share. Consulting firms, of all kinds, everything from, nutrition, health, wellness, law, accounting. They could all do the same thing. Basically, any website focusing on a subject matter where there are experts, or they wanted to draw in experts and have profiles, they could easily connect with customers and people seeking that knowledge, and then schedule and bill without ever actually even leaving the site. Okay. So that's basically how AddAlign came to be.
So walk me through it. If I'm a customer, let's say I have this came up yesterday. I have a tax question, and I go to my accountant's website. Is it I can book time through AddAlign on their website, or as opposed to picking up the phone and saying, hey, I want to come in and see you, I have some questions, and booking in a face-to-face meeting? I can book a virtual meeting through the accountant's website and schedule a 15-minute face-to-face, and an accountant is able to monetize. Am I on the right track there? Explain the solution.
Yes, I think I love your question, because it is a point of confusion that I appreciate you bringing up so that I can give clarity to it. So AddAlign is a software solution for business owners or educational platforms, or any company really that is looking to monetize or add an additional stream of revenue to their company. So AddAlign is a B2B solution, but it doesn't matter what the size of the company really is. It can be very small, it could be enterprise. It works the same way. But essentially, any platform or any website that either has existing users on there, like if you use doctors.com, if we use that as an example, the user basically goes on the website. They can find the doctor that they're looking for, and then they can connect and have the phone call right then. If it's on a business that they already know who they're interacting with, yes, they can literally they can go to their personal accounting firm's website, see the accountants that are listed there. Maybe it's one accountant, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 205. It really doesn't matter. And basically click one button, book a time for a teleconference, and then when both parties are on the teleconference, you can take it from your phone, your iPad, your computer. It's cross-platform. When both parties are on the line, that's when billing starts, and it's completely transparent, so you can see what the per minute rate is, so that the user or the customer is not surprised at the end of the phone call. Oh my goodness, this is how much it was. I wasn't anticipating that. And they also don't feel surprised by the amount, and they also can see, okay, what to anticipate. So if it goes longer than 60 minutes or less than 60 minutes, basically when the call ends, it's based off of exactly how many minutes that both parties were on the line. So you get out exactly what you're looking to get out of, no more, no less. So when the call ends, that's when there's a split of that revenue, and it goes to the expert, the platform owner, and a very small percentage to AddAlign.
Yeah. So it's a video platform, a fintech payments gateway, as well as a scheduling and administration platform. And then one thing that I've noticed with the rise of the gig economy, when it comes to tax time, they're having a lot of trouble because they're not able to manage their invoices and how they earn their revenue. So platforms like AddAlign make sense for people who are looking at that gig economy, because everything is documented and easily reportable.
Right. Absolutely, yeah. It's real time. So as soon as the call ends, that's when the split happens, and yeah, very transparent. We like everything on the up and up. So.
That's good. We like transparency.
Yeah. Awesome. So tell us who's the team behind it?
Yeah. So the team is myself. And we have quite a few people, but my co-founder and COO is Susan King, and we've been friends actually for, I don't want to date myself, but 15 plus years. And we've also worked together multiple times throughout the years on different projects. And then I also have CTO Mark Plaskow and he's been in, you know, artificial intelligence and machine learning for over 20 years as well. So those are our main go-getters, and then obviously we have a lot, you know, some people to support in different ways as needed.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Cool.
All right. So
tell us, I was going to say, ask just a little bit about, I wanted to dig into the milestones. Can you tell us a little bit about traction, any milestones that you've achieved thus far, anything that will kind of get investors excited to see kind of what you're doing and where you're going?
Sure. So we have we've been approached by AppSumo, and AppSumo has, so AppSumo has many clients that they're trying to get us in front of, over 1 million clients actually. And they are, the one thing that we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure that before we activate that AppSumo deal, we wanted to make sure that our product is very easy and seamless to onboard as a no-touch integration. Right now, that's not the case. Right now, it requires some human interaction. So, you know, we want to get in front of those customers, and so we're working towards that. Right now, we have about a handful of customers, and we are raising capital to take it to the next level. They have, I think, over 1 million. It's basically a B2B and 5,000 affiliates. So I think that's our main goal at this point.
Yeah.
To just really, I think that would be a big game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. I was kind of curious to hear a little bit more about, you know, kind of the experienced pain points you're having with your clients and your customer base, and how you're solving those pain points.
Yeah, so let's see here. So some of the pain points are, there's a lot of disconnected products out there that might do one thing or another. Like they might offer a billing solution, they might offer teleconferencing, they might offer, you know, just the ability to have like a directory on a website. But a lot of times what happens is they take the customer or the client's website, and they take that traffic and they bring it to their own. So it is bad for SEO. It pulls the client to somewhere else. And there's just a lot of inefficiency that comes from taking a client, say if they, you know, landed on their website, then now you have to schedule something. So you bring them out to Calendly, for example. Okay, now that you scheduled something, you take them to Zoom. Okay, now that you've done a Zoom interaction, now you have to go to a billing solution like Square. And so this poor client goes from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. It doesn't really bring them back to the website. So what AddAlign does is it really combines 4 products into one. It's also white label, so it runs on the client's website with their branding and their logos and colors and such.
Perfect.
Yeah, so on the client's website, it allows for a directory of experts to list their profiles and skills. There's a scheduling system so that knowledge seekers can book the experts. There's teleconferencing within the client's website, so there's no more having to figure out passwords and links and stuff with Zoom, and, you know, obviously dragging customers to a third-party platform. And then, you know, obviously it makes it efficient because then as soon as a call is done, there's no calculations trying to figure it out. It's just all automatic.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Okay. Well, I would like to talk about the raise a little bit. So how much are you raising? What are those funds going to be used for? Can you kind of give us a rundown of the offer?
Sure, no problem. We're raising $500,000 at a $6.5 million valuation on a safe note with a 20% discount. And this will enable us to activate our deal with AppSumo, which will get us in front of over 100 million clients, or 1 million clients, I apologize, 100 million, over 1 million clients on their email database and 5,000 affiliates. The new version of our platform will be self-customizable and offer a very much improved user experience and process flow. Gotcha. We are also reserving the right to oversubscribe by 1 million at higher valuations before closing the round. In this way, we are rewarding the investors that come in early and we believe will offer the most value. which is to obviously activate the AppSumo deal and other similar deals, as well as lower the barrier of entry for business clients. We've had a few offers to follow the round, but are also seeking a lead.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
Okay, and in terms of that momentum, in the raise you've got, people who want to follow on. What's their level of interest? Do you have anything penciled in? Is it just conversations at the moment, or is it you've got it? Let's say if you find a lead for half, you've got the other half already filled.
Yeah, I think there's I'd say about a handful of people sitting on the sidelines waiting for a lead.
Yep.
So
Gotcha.
it's just it's just a matter of
It's that waiting.
people are very excited, but
that gives a good idea, because with our audience, finding a lead and finding a high quality investor who can lead is crucial,
Right.
and then the investors will follow along for that. So what's the plan from here? You close the round, you get the AppSumo deal done. What does the next 12 to 18 months look like?
Yeah, so we closed the round. We finalized the version 2 for the technology.
Mm-hmm.
We activate the AppSumo deal, and then basically we continue to optimize on some of these other deals that are reaching out to us. But basically, it'll allow us to have a no-touch onboarding solution. So this way, companies do not require any kind of real interaction. They can literally go to the AddAlign website and be able to onboard themselves, or drag and drop their logo, their color, the image, and be in business in a couple of hours. So I think that'll really open the doors in a lot of different ways, regarding having to not have as many limitations. We'll be able to spread the word a lot faster. Then maybe we'll start doing different things like turning it. We've had a couple of different suggestions, but I think the more interaction, more clients we get onboarded, it's more about like, okay, what kind of feedback are we getting from our clients that is the highest demand features. So just expanding on the features, expanding on the territory. I mean, it's already, the industry is currently very underserved. There's lots of solutions, but it's kind of a little bit of a hodgepodge. So if you just think about, if we're focusing on the industry for a second, you just think about coaching. It's a $15 billion per annum industry today. And other consulting is a $132 billion industry. Yet none of them are geared up with one single solution to monetize advice consultancy, with a vertical product that provides all the tools necessary to deliver and monetize that advice within their site. Even giants, like you were saying, like Fiverr, they don't offer this for their customers who need their advice from their gigsters, I guess, is what you would call them.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and on the, if you think about the education side of things, you can't even open a newspaper these days without reading about how teachers don't earn enough and students are suffering without the infrastructure to support that distance learning. It's just, there's a huge obvious gap. And in 5 years, I can see how people will be, won't be doing it any other way than with the tools and opportunities that AddAlign has to offer.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
And in terms of your business structure, do you have a sales team that is targeting businesses to onboard them, or is it are you operating just marketing, or is there a business development focus on it, and where is that business development focus? Is it North America? Is it are you going global? What's that
targeting?
like?
Yeah, so right now we recently just started doing outreach. Actually, in the past few weeks. Previously, we were focused on the product itself and making sure that we had the ability to test out any kind of features and whatnot. So obviously, you can look on the website AddAlign.com, AddAlign.com, and see what it's about. But if you go to livesalign.com, it's basically the product, a real live demo of the product. And our intention was to just test out every little feature that needed to be tested before we push it to clients. But what turned out to be was a lot of word of mouth that we were very surprised about, but pleasantly surprised. And people started catching on and spreading the word. And now we have hundreds of experts, signed up, actively using the platform. So yeah, no, it's definitely great. And so now we're actually getting feedback from users and experts, as well as seeing it from the client perspective, to make the company as optimal as possible.
Right.
So.
Awesome. So I think you're in a prime position to really take off. It's exciting.
I love chatting about this because before I got the concept, but like actually when you ran through it, I was able, like today, I was able to very clearly visually see it. And I think with investors, it's so important. How is it going to work? What to visualize what you were saying now makes a lot more sense. So I'm glad we all got talking here because it's a great thing.
Thank you. Yeah, and feel free to check out livesalign.com, and that's the active working product that companies get. So
yes, perfect.
It makes it the visualization a little easier. But yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll put the links below. So if anybody who's watching this and wants to know more, we'll put the details down below. And if you want to get in touch with Jess, let us know. We can connect you both, and you can have a conversation, because I think I've said this previously. I think the way that we work will change dramatically in the next 5 years. The days of 9 to 5 are gone.
What is that?
People don't want to work 9 to 5. They want to work when it suits them and have a really good mixture of balance, work and life. So, if they can, do some work in the morning, go to the beach middle of the day, pick up the kids from school, and then, jump on and do a bit of consulting at night, it works for them. The rise in the gig economy, the rise in the creator economy is we're just at the tip of the iceberg. It's huge. So
yeah, and if you just think about what we've been accustomed to, right? We've been accustomed to things like LinkedIn, right, where there's technically accessibility but not really connecting, right? You have a person in your list of friends or whatever you would call it, but you're not really gaining that advice. And so I think when Clubhouse came out, people were flocking to it quickly because they're like, oh my gosh, I can raise my hand and I have the accessibility that I'm looking for to talk to the right person, get the answers right now. And this just takes it to another level. So it's not limited to certain platforms. Like, everybody can do it. And I think, it will become a requirement, just like having the ability to be able to work remotely is now a requirement by business. It's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think this is a really huge space. I think it will become a lot more mainstream in the next 5 years, and businesses will be looking to have something implemented so they can capture this. If you take a company like PwC, for example, they employ hundreds of thousands of people globally, and they're all experts in one field of another. Now, if you want to get in touch with someone from PwC, you have to make an appointment. It's going to cost you you got to sign up as a client. You've got to have a consulting fee, and there's a big process. Imagine if PwC changed their model that 7 o'clock at night, you want to get in touch with a R&D consulting expert in the UK, because you're in Australia and you've got a company in the UK. You can jump on their white labeled AddAlign. You can find a consultant. You can book in 15-20 minutes to ask your questions, and PwC is making money 24/7. The consultants are making money 24/7.
Right.
Exactly.
Smart.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the future.
Yes, the lines of distinguishing where you're located or time zones or, any of those barriers just fall away.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Yeah, I've seen it firsthand. Trying to set up a bank account in the US, trying to set up a bank account in the UK, having to jump on my time, and do international phone calls at 9 o'clock at night. With the UK, because nobody in Australia knows the situation. It would be a whole lot easier if I could just book an appointment and say, okay, I've got an appointment now at 9:30 to speak to a British banker to set up my bank account there. That's
exactly.
Literally.
Exactly. Yep.
Perfect.
Well,
that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks for jumping on with us. As I said before, we'll put the details below. So if anybody wants to jump on and check out what you're doing and see if it's a solution, I think a lot of people would be looking at it from both an investment standpoint, but also a business development standpoint, because dare say in their portfolio of companies, they would have at least a handful of industry experts who can utilize your platform. So thanks for jumping on.
It's definitely a win-win, right? We don't make money unless you make money. So we want everybody to win.
That's a good incentive.
Exactly.
Yes.
As I said, thanks for jumping on. It's been great chatting to you, and we'll share this video and material out to people in our audience.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.